Hi guys, and welcome to my review of Boku no Hero Academia chapter 124. No live reaction this week because I couldn't stop myself from reading it while I was at work, and also, I didn't want, this chapter wasn't all that live reaction worthy because again, there was so much text. So, that's fine. But it's very simple actually, because when there's a lot of text and there's a lot of explaining, I don't really have to say too much because it's just explaining and I don't want to recap everything. But basically, we find out about Mirio's quirk. And one of you actually last week pointed out that there was something about him not breathing when he used his quirk. You kind of got it the wrong way around because you said he could only use his quirk when he wasn't breathing. It turns out that he just can't breathe when he uses his quirk because air just phases through him. But it was very smart of you to actually pick that out from the chapter because I certainly did not pick up on it until you said it. But on from that, so we got the explanation of the quirk. I'm not gonna explain it, hopefully you read it. If not, I don't know why you're watching this video. And we get the explanation of why the internship is different from what we've already seen in the, I'm gonna call it the Stain arc, and why it is so important. And it's really all about experience because unlike with the Stain arc thing, where they were mostly they were following the heroes, but they weren't really put into the action. Like if you remember, both with Gran Torino, when the same thing happened, he was like, okay, Deku, just stay here. Todoroki ran off on his own. Ida ran off on his own. Other people probably no. Those were the only three characters we really focused on. But they were mostly helping out with small things, and people were even doing commercials. Boku had his hair fixed. They weren't really doing hero-like things. But in this internship thing, they will literally be acting like sidekicks. So they won't be the main heroes, but they will be important assistants to the heroes that they will be sidekicks for. Which is super interesting because that means that they'll give some more taste of the real life and they'll gain experience, as Mirio puts a lot of emphasis on, which is important because as they hype up his quirk so much. Like in the last chapter we were like, oh my god, this quirk is insane, he can phase through things, he can teleport, which we find out is just something he can do with the phasing, and it's just really overpowered quirk, and Mirio's like, well, it was kind of a shit quirk actually because it was hard to control and it was hard to do all this stuff with, but because I trained, I got experience and I did all of these things, now I'm powerful because I did all of this. Which also links back to what Deku said, I think it was 1 or 2 chapters ago, where he was like, well, I remember these from the summer festival, but they didn't really stand out that much, all 3 of these big heroes. So that just goes to show that if you train really hard and use your quirk to its optimal potential, you can become something really, really great. And that's basically what Mirio's done because, as Aizawa said, he's one of the heroes that are closest to that #1 spot, so that's just but I just thought that was really cool because I really like when you have a character just using an ability that's really weird and it feels like it's not really like that powerful. Because if you take someone like Todoroki, he has fire and ice, that's freaking insane. That's something that we can all agree on. That's a strong quirk, no matter who you are. Of course, Todoroki's probably a bit better with using this quirk than someone like Mineta would be, because I feel like he's more suited for a quirk like that. But it's still a strong quirk. Where Mirio's would be one where you have to figure out how to use it, you have to figure out how to be creative with it and how to control it properly. It's why I like Luffy as well, because he has a really, really weird devil fruit power, but he uses it so creatively and so well. And also why I kind of like Bucky, because he has a really powerful devil fruit, but he just uses it really stupidly. But that's One Piece. Let's not talk about that. So I think must have been in the last chapter where Aizawa said that they should use the connection they made, the Summer Festival arc and the Stain arc, I guess. The connections they made to other heroes to kind of find the hero that they are gonna have their internship with. And Deku, obviously having only one hero to call, he's like, Gran Torino, hey, do you want me? And Gran Torino is, no, I don't want you. But you should seek out All Might's former sidekick. Which I mean, I don't know why I never thought that All Might needed a sidekick, but it makes sense because all heroes have sidekicks, and it will also kind of make sense for All Might to have one because he's all about like people and stuff, so it would make sense for him to like have a sidekick to just like either just guide them or just like have one for the heck of it, and everyone would want to be All Might's sidekick. Like it's almost more prestigious to be All Might's sidekick than just to be like a good hero because it's All Might. So this dude is strong, we can presume. We kind of meet him in the end. I forgot if he had a name. I will check that. We did not get a name of the guy, but apparently when we meet him, also he kind of looks like Snack from One Punch Man. Like, I'm just saying. Just need to give him a weird suit. Also, he kind of also looked like Sakamoto from like Sakamoto. But like, that's just, yeah. But he gets information about the League of Villains who have made contact with a villain whose name is Overhaul, and I should have researched this to see if we've met him before because he looks familiar, but I just don't remember him. I don't remember all these villains, like I'm so bad at this. And I've read the series like 3 times. But we have more League of Villains stuff, which is really great. I think I requested this by the end of the last arc, and I requested it a few times during this arc, especially after the Deku versus Kacchan stuff, because that was really like intense and lovely. And then I believe I mentioned it when I talked about the internship, because that means going out in the world and doing stuff and encountering real villains rather than just like students who are friendly rivals. Which, like, I'm all for that stuff, but we need like new stuff once in a while. So yeah, I'm really interested in seeing where this League of Villains stuff is going, because they have a new motive every time. They started off wanting to bring down All Might up, obviously. They kind of achieved that, but they still have the problem with One for All, so it's gonna be interesting to see what they'll do to cause havoc next, because they probably have something in mind, especially now that Shigaraki is in control of everything. I think that's kind of what I have to say about this chapter. I think that it's just important to keep in mind experience is key, which is kind of also what I said when we had the Deku versus Kacchan stuff, because I said Kacchan would win because he had experience. So yeah. I don't know what to say, so I am gonna stop this here. Also, side note, I got tagged in the Boku no Hero Academia tag by Zero Straw Hats, yes. I will do that, obviously, because I really like tags, but obviously, as you can see, I'm in a new location, which is why I haven't really been doing anything. I will try to make it tomorrow until I literally collapse from tiredness, but I will try at the very least to have it up by the end of the week. So look forward to the Boku no Hero Academia tag at some point this week. Yes? Okay. But for now, I should stop doing this. For now, you can leave a thumbs up on the video if you like anything that I had to say. Leave in the comments below if you love the chapter and just everything. And you can subscribe if you want to see more of me. And until next time, bye!